Howdy everybody, and welcome back to Malenia's Arsenal, the series where we fight Malenia and NG7 with every single weapon. In this episode, we will be using Freyja's Greatsword. It is a curved greatsword. It is pretty good, I bet. Before we get into it, though, I'd like to ask, if you enjoyed the content, please do leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you want to choose what's next. Heads up, if you're requesting weapons, I have a bit of a backlog recording. So it might take a bit before I get to the weapon, but do know I am recording it as they are requested. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Weapon of Freyja, a red mane. Greatsword decorated with a mane, much like the weapons used by her liege. The spirit of Freyja's training lingers in this sword, enhancing the power of red mane battle skills. Lion's Claw is a red mane battle skill. It gets enhanced. It's very good. It basically does the same thing as Alexander Jarshard, at the cost of being in your weapon slot, which is really good, it turns out. You may be wondering, though, why aren't I using the Savage Lion's Claw, the new one? And the answer, just to put it plainly, Lion's Claw does like 200 to 400 more damage on its own already. So it's more damage. The change is, if you're using the Savage Lion's Claw, it does more damage if you can hit the full combo of it. But you can't really, a lot of the time, not against Malenia at least. Whoa! Well, so much for that, guys. That is what happens if you use Vow of the Indomitable poorly. I mismanaged my stamina, so what I wanted to do was I was trying to regen my stamina beforehand. But if you time it poorly and you use it, it gives you like 4 frames before it's active, and those can be block frames. So she started hitting me, and she broke my guard while I was preparing in my 4 frames of startup. And it broke my guard, and the weapon art gets cancelled, and I just exploded for it. It happens sometimes. It's okay. People get hurt, people die in this game. It's okay. You just keep playing and you try again, you know? Nothing wrong with that. Maybe she does something good to get a punish, yeah. Lion's Claw is a little bit short to just pull off like that, but... And then we have to fall back here due to my spacing and timing, but that's okay. But it does also do a lot of stance damage. There we go, that's a little bit better. It also gets armor there, as you saw. Which may not be the most optimal way to use it, but still a good way to use it. You still get more damage than she heals. So not much to complain about there. Overall, I gotta say, it's a curved greatsword. It's good. The only thing I don't know about is if it boosts twice if you have 2 of them, the red mane skills. But if it does, that would be massive. As you can see, we're not throwing out any R2s or charged R2s, and because of that, we're not really getting any stance breaks. And that's okay. It's just one of those things you have to know. If you're in higher difficulties, you can't just hit R1 to easily get stance breaks. You can get a few every now and then, but you are much more likely to just be wailing on the boss without much return in terms of stance, which is fine because the actual damage we're getting is still very good, as you can see. And now we actively don't want to stance break, so let's try to finish her off quick. Good. You run past her, ring around her, drink your physic. That was a little close. Don't mind me. I'm using the combo physic with the damage self physic because I keep forgetting when I make my save to take it off. It is 20% bonus damage though, which is very nice. Oh, this is bad. Never mind, we're okay. We can't use Lion's Claw right now. We are using Blessed Blue too, but we're just out of FP. There we go, that's what we want to see. We'll wake her up with the Charge Star 2 instead, and off of that she should go into her Blossom. Probably. That's what she's supposed to do. There we go. This physic tier that deals damage to you over time, I'm learning a lot about it. It doesn't necessarily deal 1% of your health per second like I thought. It seems to be a little different. It seems to be like a minimum 20 damage. which is a pretty big deal because it stops you from using low vigor builds to cheat through the self-damage. Which is okay. Wow, she's just dead, huh? This was a really good weapon against her. I made it quality. You can go heavy instead. I go 80 strength, and you're gonna have something like a minus 35 damage if you go 80 strength, 14 dex. So 15 levels only got us like 30 damage plus talisman bonuses, which is not much really. So personally, I think it's better, but I like showing that FP isn't necessary, and you can still do a lot with 10 FP, which is why I do it that way. Oh, by the way, we have a bunch of bosses set up so we can try them if we want. I have posted a poll. You guys will have seen it like 5 days to 10 days in advance of when I'm putting this video out. I'm realizing my backlog is huge because I'm going on vacation. Anyway, as for curved sword length, it is middling. I believe it's a little bit shorter than... It's shorter than the dismounter, but that's one of the longer ones. I would put it somewhere along the lines of, like... Actually, it might be on the short end, honestly, because I was going to say Zammer curved sword, but this curved sword got a buff in terms of range, right? You move even further forward now. It's hard to say. But by no means is it bad with the range. You still lunge forward a little. Maybe Monk's Flame Blade, but I don't know how long that one is. I think it might be kind of long. So, stubbiness aside, it's really good. If the weapon art boost stacks, and if it stacks with, the other thing to note, I guess I should say, Shard of Alexander, I said is not necessary. Sorry, I'm getting crazy off topic. Shard of Alexander isn't necessary, I said, but Ritual Sword Talisman actually does less of a boost than Shard of Alexander. So if you're really wanting high damage, you just strength like your physic tier like this, right? And you buff Shard of Alexander as well, and you just use the weapon art, and you probably get like 4,000, depending on the boss. I mean, like, you could just do this to Gideon. Huh. Oh, we even got a combo off on him. Can you believe that? And that's all you need. You just need 10 FP and a dream. 10 mind and a dream with the Lion's Claw. Very good there. The only downside is if you're using it above red main skills, you're probably not wanting to run a different weapon with a red main skill. You can, but this weapon's 14 carry weight. It's on the heavier end, so if you're wanting to buff something like Flame of the Red Mains, you should probably just be using it on your actual weapon, right? So that's about what I would say. If they stack, running two of them is very heavy, but also still probably worthwhile, if I had to bet. I didn't even use Exalted Flesh there, dude. I think the weapon's very good, and it makes quick work of a lot of things. As you can see, just that time from Gideon dying to walking here, we've already regenerated a third of our FP, by the way. Over a third. It kind of matters sometimes. Real quick, we could change some of these other ones. We could go for HP stealing, which, unfortunately, I don't think it's enough to matter. I don't think it's percentage based. It seemed just like it was a flat amount based on the motion values. So a strong weapon that hits is going to be just as strong as a weak weapon of the same weapon class for health recovery. Or it's percentage of your health, but I can't really tell. I forgot to drink my physic, but I kind of don't want to use it here anyway. We'll just eat a shrimp crab. I know what I'm eating. Side note, make sure you always know what you're eating. It's kind of important. Kind of a big deal. I was way too close for that, yep. My bad. I'm going ham. You can just circle straight from there, you didn't have to... What the? That was weird. Alright, we just run from him here. And because he has to rotate there, you're just safe to run directly away if you're behind him. Yeah, reposition a little. We'll probably be getting a stance break decently fast with this weapon. By decently fast, I mean, man, he has a lot of stance, huh? And he doesn't even want to go to phase 2. There it is. Maybe we can knock him out of it. Nope. Lion's Claw for the stance break, right? No? Oh, this is good. Yes, this is huge, actually. We didn't get the stance break there, so we can push forward here in phase 2, possibly. Possibly. Maybe not, depending on how aggressive he is. Right, that was not necessarily smart. There was that. I think that hits you, by the way, if you just tank it, if you don't actually do a recovery roll. Go for a Lion's Claw here as well. Dude, he is... Ugh, he is not budging with his stance, huh? That's okay. So we lost to the Gauntlet. We lost at Horu. That's okay, guys. It kind of gives you an idea. I mean, curved greatswords are great against him. I just made a misjudgment, I would say, on that one. But let's move to something a little bit different, shall we? Let's go see some DLC bosses. I think the easiest one is Stagefront. The Lion Divine Warrior guy. But at the same time, he's a little bit awkward because he likes killing your frame rate. So let's see how this looks. Actually... well, that sucks. I'm so bad at dodging this sometimes. There we go. I mean, look at our damage. We're chunking him. Yeah. I'm bad at the fight still, but like you kind of don't have to be good at this fight when you have 14 blessings. Or maybe you do. Alright, this is fine. He's just gonna shoot that and then we'll heal. I don't know how I feel about this boss. It is really weird looking. There were some frame drops, by the way. If you're spaced properly, you can get a charged R2 here. That's the hardest one to get a charged R2 on when it comes to the phase transition. What the heck was that? Hey, I don't even know what he did there, honestly. Whoa, that one was actually rather close. Ah, I didn't roll in time. That's okay. I kind of flail on this boss, I won't lie. He's probably about to phase transition. Yeah, and you can get another charge for 2 during that. This is me showing off that, like... Thank you, Pivot, you actually helped me time that properly. You'll never hear me say that again, though, I'll tell you that much. Ugh. Oh. I think his ice phase might be the hardest, personally. Wind phase also has a lot of AoEs on it, but I think he's just dead here, right? Oh yeah. With 14 blessings, you can kind of power through it. Anyway, what I was saying was, when I don't know how to fight a boss, I freeze and I don't know how to use the weapon arts. So I just stop, which is not very fair to the weapon itself. I'm kind of bullying it. But anyway, it doesn't show off the true potential because I'm not sure where the potential is available, you know. Alrighty. I actually rather like this fight a lot more without lock-on. But I'm also not good at this fight still. I've gotten a little better, but not great. Alright, that was not the answer. That's okay, we have time to heal here. And she really behaved about it too. Yeah, nice. Whoops, I took that stance break immediately. Not intentional, but we'll use a Lion's Claw and wake up. Alright. You can actually circle strafe her thing there. Her poke, or her fading slash, I guess I should say. I didn't mean it, lady. Holy cow. It's weird that that's where the combo ends, but I still let it hit me constantly. And that's not good. Hope for fire? Yeah. You stick close to her during this phase transition, and just hope for her to do the fire one. It's a lot better advantage-wise. Ah. This gets a lot stronger in phase 2, and she dashes up on you apparently. Holy cow. I did a Lion's Claw, I shouldn't have. I'm gonna heal. As you can see, I might not be the greatest at this phase, but I'm getting better, maybe. You roll forward during that, I find. We might be able to get a stance break. Don't kill me. Oh well. I'm getting better, as you can see. I'm still using a lot of flasks to get through the fight, but the end goal of the fight is not as few flasks as possible. The end goal of the fight is to beat the boss, you know? So it's okay. It does not hurt to just try your best, right? It's not about how well you perform in this fight, it's about making it to the end, typically. And then once you make it to the end, you start learning how to perform better after that point. Right. I think you can Lion Claw in here, yeah. Oh, that hit me. Mesmer has, alright, this is what you want to see. He has pretty low stance, I think, relative to a lot of things. I rolled it early. I should have died for that. Sorry I grunt a lot when I'm, like, thinking I'm gonna die.
In the embrace of
Miss Flame. So we died to Mesmer. That's okay. I think 14 blessings is... I mean, we're in NG7, first of all. That's the other thing. You're probably expected to have 20 blessings by now. And I would like to get 20 blessings. But I just haven't. I don't really have an excuse for that. Okay, so you can't punish that like that. That's good to know. Oh. Alright, so we've died twice to Mesmer.
in the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
If you die, like I die, very early on, take a second between deaths and just kind of analyze what happened, right? In that case, I died due to him throwing fire at me because I rolled backwards, right? His fire has lingering hitboxes that fall towards the ground. If I had rolled forward, I actually would have been fine and I would have survived that. That's the sort of thing you gotta analyze why you died, you know? Take a second to yourself. Recognize why. I tend to do that when I do die. I just don't usually say it out loud. But I kind of want to practice bringing my thoughts completely out, you know, just so people know what I'm thinking and what I'm doing, and kind of getting an understanding of, like, how I approach situations, right? Like that. I just rolled wrong, and now I gotta heal. That hits behind shields. Who knew? I do think this ends up being one of the easier bosses of the DLC, usually, at least. She just ends up being really tanky for if you fight her earlier. This one has a sound cue, and is basically like as soon as you hear it, you want to start rolling. What the heck? Good stance break, honestly, and we'll just take it after one hit. No reason to risk it. This is, by the way, I'm not using my physic tier because I'm not confident in the fight yet, unlike Malenia, right? So typically what I would recommend is actually taking a much more defensive setup when going into a fight you don't know, which is why I end up not using my physic tier much in the latter half of the video. Oh, you can't even block during that, dude. That just combos you. You could probably roll out of it. Oh, get out. Hers also hits kind of like Malenia's does. Just don't stand where there are butterflies and you won't get hit by it. Whoa, frame rate. Hello. And then for that, if you're looking directly at her from where you were standing, you want to be running perpendicular. And that's how you dodge the explosions at that part. Oh, that hit me? Weird. How? Yeah. Honestly, that attack's not actually all that dangerous, even in phase 2 there. Well, that is, though. We need to get away from her. Actually find timing to heal, right? There we go. Oh, that's why I block. I mean, like, you gotta think, like, if I'm gonna be rolling, may as well hold block, because if you mistime the roll, at the very least, you block it with a weapon, and you take, like, 25% damage. Even if a guard breaks you on a big attack like that, at least, you know? So you gotta be perpendicular. This attack, you just get out of the way of the butterflies. I find phase 2 to not be super dangerous. It is dangerous still, right? But compared to things like Mesmer and stuff, she's not nearly as difficult, even though I think I'm probably losing this battle at this rate. Oh, weird. I don't know if you roll to the side or what to dodge it if you don't get hit by the first part. Oh, gotta get out of there. And away from the butterflies. But she's still dangerous. She just ends up being tanky more than physically powerful, right? Which is a big deal, because her whole thing is Scarlet Rot, so you can't really kill her effectively very fast, right? So if you get Scarlet Rotted by her, she actively forces you to wait it out, just due to how she moves and fights, right? Which is a big deal. As you can see, again, I'm doing bad at using my weapon art. I could be using it. Not there, though. We could still roll out of it, though. How about that? It does do a lot of damage, huh? Maybe I shouldn't force it, but sure, I'll take it for the win, though. Cool. We beat 2 bosses so far. I'm just giving each one of them an attempt or 2. I'm not sure how long I want these videos to be, so... the only one of the 2 remembrances I don't have, even though Bale's not really one, is Putrescent Knight, right? But I'm not going to set him up right now. Not in the middle of the video. Anyway. On to... I don't remember this guy's name, I'm so sorry. Madness guy. Sorry, dude, I'm going to interrupt you. Alright, there we go. This guy, he deals madness, which means if you don't have mind, you end up actually being madness very easily. As you can see there, he already does like a third of my madness build-up. Yeah, he hurts, dude. Whoa! Well. If you can't tell, I'm not very practiced with this guy. Midra is his name, thank you. We'll give him one more attempt, and then we're going to call the video there. The issue with me doing this is I feel like I'm losing my focus on Malenia, right? And I'm giving like everything an attempt in such a weird way, but at the same time, the difference is we fight Malenia until we win. The thing is, we just tend to win against Malenia because... What? I didn't know he could move this up, dude. Crazy. Difference is we tend to beat Malenia first try anyway, so like, does it really matter much? He always does 2 madness bolts at the start, 2 sets of madness bolts. Apparently he likes daggers early on. Wow, well that does stance damage, huh? Or block damage. It's hard to roll away from him. It's hard to roll away from his bosses, to be fair here. I was circling the wrong direction. I should have died. I really should have died there. Jeez, dude. One thing to note, though, and I am dying here, but like, yeah, ooh. He has lots of range, apparently, and he has rather low poise. Granted, NG7 gives him quite a bit, but one day I'll learn his fight. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it there, and we'll get some more things set up next time, but thank you for watching. I'm going to say this weapon's an easy A, if not A+, and if they stack with each other, A++, or S tier you might say. It's good. You might be a little bit heavy, but it's good. And with that, we're actually going to call the video there. Thank you very much for watching. I'm really appreciating the support that we're getting these days, and it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.